Now, lizards are pretty interesting creatures, and none are more interesting than the chameleons, which are very peculiar lizards indeed. When they go hunting, they use their eyes, as we all do, and those eyes can point downward, or they can point to the side, or, when they're really on the hunt, to the front. And like that, the chameleon can focus them on its prey, which it zaps with a long, sticky tongue. Now, when we hunt, we do the same thing, but our eyes point downward together, and to the side together, and forward together. They're always together. With a chameleon, they move independently, quite independent of each other. It's a very peculiar sight, and you can make yourself a model that shows you just how peculiar a chameleon can look. It's pretty simple if you just use paper. First of all, you take a piece of paper and fold it very cleanly across the middle and score that so it makes a very nice sharp edge. And then, it doesn't really matter quite how far, but about 7 centimetres down from there, put a ruler across and cut the folded paper across. It doesn't matter how far down, but it does have to be accurate. It has to be this cut exactly parallel with the top fold. If it's not, the model won't work properly. But you'll end up with a sort of folded rectangle like that. And with scissors, you can trim that down a bit so it's not quite so long. Let's say about like that. Clear away the rubbish and begin to sketch your chameleon. Perhaps a branch along there, the body of the thing there, a long curly tail like that, legs gripping the branch. But when you come to the head, be more careful. We're going to put the head about there, and we're going to concentrate on eyes that go in and round about there and there. Well, I've done that more carefully over here. And that's my chameleon, coloured in as you can see. And these are the eyes that I'm really interested in, because the top of each one of these two slits, notice they're two semicircular slits there, the top of each one lies along a line parallel to the top fold, and the bottom of the slits lies along a line parallel again. And I have to cut those two slits out. I do that by opening the fold of paper again. There we go. And with a craft knife or sharp scissors, if you prefer to use them, just work around cutting out those two semicircular slits, leaving a gap between them. That'll take a while to do, but let's assume I've done it for both eyes. I then finish this off by folding it together and with a piece of sticky tape along the bottom, sticking the bottom part together like that. Along the edge there, pick it up, make sure the two sides are together, and wrap it over. Make that a nice, clean, finished job. Well, if I'd cut those two eye slits out, the result would be like this. Here we are. You can see with the two eye slits out, whatever I put inside that tube, as it now is going to show through the holes. In this case, it's my finger, but for our model, it's going to be something else. In fact, it's going to be another piece of paper exactly the same colour. Well, I've already cut that, and notice that it slides down inside that tube. It's slightly narrower than the tube, so it doesn't jam on the sides. If you find it jams, just make it a little bit narrower. But once that's inside there, I can move it back and forth. You wouldn't know it was there because, of course, it's the same colour as the chameleon. You can't see it through the eye slits. Never mind, you will see something soon. Leave it in there, and with a pencil, make a dot at the top of one of those eye slits and at the bottom. And now, if you take the cover off, or let's say slide the inside out, you find those two dots there, and with a pencil, lightly rule two lines through them. Make sure, again, that those two lines are parallel with the top and the bottom of the strip. Because you can see they're rather like tram tracks, and whatever you put between them is going to show through the two eye slits. And what you put between them? Well, it's very simple, just a wavy line. Something like this. Make sure it doesn't run outside them, or it'll disappear from the eyes. But that's all you have to do. And with that in place, inside the tube, you simply move it back and forth. And to your surprise, perhaps, you'll find that that looks like the pupils in the eyes of the chameleon. If you look at those eyes there, you can see that they seem to be moving independently. Well, that's the simplest version with paper, but it's a bit hard to control. It's much better to do it with cardboard and take a bit more time. And I've coloured that one. A nice cream cardboard or white cardboard is better. And you can see that as I move that, you've got a chameleon moving its eyes independently as it does when it's really on the hunt.
Curiosity.